we're very ready. We're ready for the victory because we understand that the organization which you are part of, it stands to represent the poor majority of our students, and it has been there. It has been there for the students. Each and every challenge which they faced, we were there to assist them.
Pakamane simeka, pakamane mtate, pakamane mlanjeni, ePark View nase Riverside, and listen to the exuberant voice, the voice of hope. For the sun has risen, and the wind has blown the walls of Univen. Lihe kaidi mamezi, utlano bona inwile. Chaswa, chatukutela, ndichunga, chambuzi na koromo. Univen podcast, authenticity at your fingertips.
Hisona sweso mwanamane. We are still out and about, bringing authentic content to your fingertips. And guys, today I want you to sit back and relax, because today we are going to be speaking here. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome on Univen podcast, Comrade Tshamano, speaking here. Welcome to Univen podcast. How are you?
No, well, thank you very much. Speaking here is Tshamano Gudani Lloyd.
So we are very much grateful to be having you on Univen podcast. First of all, maybe we'll talk about the attire. What inspired the military attire? You know, because I've been checking on the pictures and videos. You are always wearing this military attire. I want us to get to talk about that first as we proceed.
No, thank you very much. This attire is just an attire, normal attire. We're inspired by tab, which simply means that we're very strong and we're ready, we're fearless. I think that is the primary reason for wearing this type of an attire. There's nothing. Stick it there.
No, that's nice. So, a lot of people, you know, when you become a student activist or a student leader, people get to know about you when you're already here, right? They know Comrade Gudani speaking here, but they do not know as to where do you come from and the likes. So in a nutshell, who would we say Gudani before we even say Comrade Gudani? But who is Gudani and where is he from?
No, well, thank you. Gudani Tshamano is a boy who was born and bred in a small village called Slu. That's when I grew up. From there, I went to primary school of Silom. From there, we did very well. We went to secondary of Zat in grade 8. But before that, we didn't complete that grade 8. We then went to Benny's Care in West Hill. I said 2 more.
Okay.
So it was it's an academic football school wherein we focus most in football, because when we were young we used to play soccer, we used to love soccer like nobody's business. So someone discovered the talent in me. We then went to Benny's Care at Choose. That's wherein we were elected and playing there. I think I spent almost six months there. But due to some unforeseen circumstances, we then drop out and then come back to home at that.
Okay, no, I get to see and understand. Because me and you, we communicate on WhatsApp. I think it was a year or two ago. I saw a picture of you. You were still very young by then. And you captioned the picture on your status that you were not happy because your mom refused to buy you soccer boots instead for Christmas, and because when you wanted the soccer boots for Christmas. So this, as you are saying now, it reminded me of that, because it shows that you had a love for football, for soccer.
Yeah, you're correct, man. Coming to that, I think it was in December. I can't recall the year. We were in Los Trichat buying clothes for December.
For Christmas, yeah.
But then myself, when I saw these other soccer boots, I was loving them. Started crying there to say, no, instead of clothes, let us buy these soccer boots. I will just continue wearing the clothes I have. Then she was refusing, but I kept on crying. She's so rare, she has a problem. Then she decided to say, no, let's do what we want. She bought those soccer boots. So that shows you the love which we had for football. Even some of the t-shirts which she buys will go and just write names of Wotakomudis at the back. So that's how we used to love football. Actually, my life back then was all about football. I didn't have any life outside football.
So now, how did it all came about? I mean, now I don't know if you are still interested in football as a player, or you are just interested in football as a spectator or things like that.
No, I can say that now I'm no longer that person who's too much involved in soccer because of we're always busy in campus. Actually, the time I arrived in Univen in 2018, that's when I stopped this thing of soccer because I was very occupied with academics, politics, of course, beverages. We used to drink alcohol, so we couldn't manage to at least play soccer because one of the things that playing soccer is demanding a lot. You must go to training, you must camp and everything. So I was failing. So I saw, no, I must choose now which one is the best between this and this. And I saw that, no, football, I think now it's time to say goodbye. We'll just go and watch and support those who are playing. Because even the age was no longer on our side. Because you must know that in football, once you reach 19, 20 without playing for any maybe big team out there, you must know that automatically you are out. You must give space to 17 years, 16 years boys to play. Yeah.
So now I understand. I heard you are talking about the way football demands. You talked about training and camping, and obviously training is for you to keep fit. But camping normally at home, when you say I'm a camp boy, what we simply means is that you were involved with ladies. So are you trying to say back then when you were still at home, you didn't have much access to them, or now when you came this side there were a lot of them that they were stopping you or prohibiting you from camping?
No, to respond to that question, I can just say that no, camping, yes, you are right. I'm referring to that. It's just that back then at home, yes, we used to have these girls and everything, but it is different from here because in here you have your own space and then you're always occupied with your own person. So it's the same thing. So it's kind of difficult, you know, to focus much in football. So we saw, no, rather we choose which one is the best, and then we took a decision which we think was the best. That's why we're here today. It's because of the decision which we took. So we believe that indeed it was not a waste of time, but we learned a lot of things, and then now it's we guide even those who are coming to say, don't do this, don't do this. So I think that is where we're coming from.
Okay, no, I understand. So now there are people, maybe if we go back home now and we say, let's say I go to Siloam now and say I am looking for Comrade Tshamano. People may not know you, but if I say I'm looking for Jima, they might get to remember the kind of a person that I will be talking about. So I want you to tell us as to how did this name came about, the name Jima.
No, well, thank you very much. The name of Jima, yes, at home, well, they know me by the name of Jima. Majority, if you're going to say Gudani, they wouldn't notice me because they are used to the name of Jima. Jima came in 2013 when I went to Beniske. There's a boy here called Sugar. He plays for Univen FC. We were together there.
The drinks.
Okay, so we were together there at Beniske. So the boys, so you see my legs, they have brackets. So there's a boy called Jima who was playing for Sport back then. So they started to call me Jima. So then that is how that name came to. Then I fell in love with the name because it resembled who I am. So I then accepted the name. So I was referred to as Jima. I was very good in football by the way. I have many medals there at home. I have different cups. So yeah, we were very good at football.
So it means that somewhere you even envisioned yourself or pictured yourself as one of the players who will be playing on professional teams in one of the good days.
Yes, yeah, I had a dream of playing for SuperSport. SuperSport is a very good development. So when we were growing up, we had a dream that maybe one day we are going to find ourselves at Super Sport. But unfortunately, as I've said already, that we didn't manage because of all those predicaments which we mentioned. So that is, but we had a dream. Unfortunately, that dream is no more now. Now we're into politics. We fell in love with politics because we believe that it is the only way which can help to at least liberate majority of our people. Yeah.
So, but then don't you think that lack of recreational facilities and lack of exposure contributes to talents that are not reaching their full capacity? Because I know a lot of people who are very good in football. They never went anywhere. They ended up in teams around. They didn't even make it to at least Woma, Black Leopards or TTM. Don't you think that somewhere, somehow, the system or the government is failing us on that angle or on that area of life?
No, well, you are very right. On the issue of recreational facilities, we don't have much compared to urban areas. Remember, we're from rural areas. For you to get exposure is quite difficult. Even when you go to Wopolokwane just to play friendly matches, you feel like you are in a very different place compared to where you're coming from. So even the issue of fear, you become scared because of seeing even some tall buildings which you're not even used to. So it becomes a problem. So I can say that, yes, coming from rural villages, it does disadvantage majority of our people, majority of young players who are growing up, who maybe they have a dream to play for big teams. But I think nowadays it's better because if you can check, we have at least 4, if not 3 teams around which are in NFD. You have your Black Leopard, you have your TTM, you have your VFA, which they are always scouting players. But during our time, it was only Black Leopard, and it was difficult for one to find himself there. So I can say that at least we're getting there, we're improving, but even though we're not moving in a pace which we wanted to, but we believe that as time goes on, everything will be fine. Yeah.
No, I get to understand. So 2018, a first year at the University of Venda. When you came to the University of Venda, did it even cross your mind that maybe in one of the good days you'll be a student leader or something like that?
No, well, thank you very much. I can say that when I came here in 2018, I was too much focused in my books. I didn't have time to go and attend meetings of the EFF. And remember then, we were in power until October.
So sorry to interrupt you there. So when you came to Univen, were you already a fighter, or maybe you had to choose between SASCO, EFFSC and DASO by then?
No, when I came here in 2018, I was not involved in politics at all, so I didn't have any preference until we had a mass meeting at Freedom Square, where in President Tsina and Mandla, they were addressing there. Then I fell in love with the organization to see what they were speaking about. It did really attracted me to the organization because they were speaking about issues which were affecting the students. And then by the virtue of that, we then started to develop that love towards the organization to say this organization or the leaders of that time, they were speaking things which were making sense to some of us. So we then started to fall in love with the Red Beret, and then from there, we loved the organization. We started to post about it, we started to speak about it, started reading books about it. So that's how we fell in love with the organization. Yeah.
But you never thought that maybe you would be a leader in the student command, or that developed as time went by?
No, in 2018 I can say that I never had such a dream. You are correct, because as a first year, you are still scared, you don't know, you are not sure of your future, you still have many questions, you are really focused on your books only. So 2018 to me, it was only about my books only. I remember I used to sleep in campus each and every Friday. I was staying off campus at Almighty Golgot. So to me, it was about books only. That's why even some of the meetings, we didn't manage to attend them because we were too much focused. Until 2019, then we saw, no, Kanti, there's no pressure. You're just putting ourselves in a pressure which is not even there. Then we started to at least attend such meetings, and then started learning. So that's why we are here today. Yeah.
Okay, so you got to be involved as a leader. I remember the last time I can recall, you were the organizer. Was it your first position in the student command, being an organizer?
No, thank you very much. I think on that one, I think that is where in my political journey started. Where it was in 2019, late 2019, we were launching the branch. I was staying at Law City with Wo Andan, the former Speaker of Parliament, and Wozava, former Secretary. We were sitting there, and then we were supposed to be launching the branch. Already people were giving the other position to say, yourself you're going to get chairperson, yourself you're going to get this and this and this and this. And then myself I was just there. And then comrade said, but also yourself, you must go and get something. Me, being myself, I was still scared, and I said, I think it's not the right time now. Let us just allow this year to pass. We'll then join what next year. And then former speaker said that no, it can't happen. You must go and get something. We see potential in you. You are a disciplined cadre. So why don't you want to take responsibility? And he said that I know why you don't want to contest is because of you are scared of responsibilities. Just go and try. And then we started to develop those ambitions to say, yeah, but this man is right. Because if not now, then when? So we then started to be interested, and then we went and contested for that position, and then we won. We won. That is the branch of who Chairman Cook. Not Cook. This one of Cabal.
Chairman Cabal. Oh, I remember.
Is the branch which elected Chairman Cabal together with Varau Shah as the secretary. So we're part of that branch.
So then everything started unfolding, and then you were now trusted with more responsibilities and more responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly. So in that particular year, that's when we served in the BSCT, and then we were still the opposition. It was very difficult.
Very tough. Yeah.
It was very difficult, but we became patient with the process. We worked for the organization tirelessly. We went to all programs. We organized we used not to sleep some of the days arranging. I remember there was still a program of pens where we give pens to the students. We had to sacrifice some of our monies to go and buy such pens and pencils because they were not the money which we had was not enough to at least accommodate the entire Univen community. So we had to sacrifice because of the love we have for the organization. We had to sacrifice. We went and buy such things, and then we gave students when they were going to write their exams. So that is that of 2019 and the beginning of 2020.
So now there comes a big program now wherein you were now the chairman of the EFF Student Command Univen branch, wherein you ushered the victory total takeover of the university after such a very long time in the hands of the opposition. So what is it that you can say? Maybe the strategies that you used in order for you to reclaim the campus together with the then presidential candidate who is Ismail Bogumangana.
No, I think we must begin when I become the convener. The current SG of Student Command. He was the convener of the province. And then they went and disbanded the branch. And then from there was appointed as the convener. And then Billy was appointed as the coordinator. Then from there it was that time of lockdown now. It was difficult. It was very difficult. But we worked together via online. We had meetings online and everything. So that is where the journey became now to say also after being appointed as the convener, we went to launch the branch. In the branch, I emerged uncontested as the chairman of the student command. Uncontested, and then same as to the secretary, he emerged uncontested. So that's where in now, I think it was around beginning of 2021, if not December 2020. So now we then started to say, we've been the opposition for a very long time now. We must sit down, come up with ways which can make us to win campus. And then we went to the program which we call Sizofuna Ngenkani program. That's where during registration time. Majority of comrades during that time, what they're interested on is robbing first years, getting money from them, promising them non-existing qualifications and everything. But ourselves, we had a meeting with the organization to say, comrades, here we're going to work for the organization, for the students, without expecting anything from them. So that's when we were in the ground. It was the time of gift. He was the president. The guy was not interested, shame. It was us at ICT with Smile working like nobody's business, making sure that we wake up at 6, we sleep at 5 each and every day until the registrations elapse. So that's how committed we were. We were working, registering students, then they get to know there's this guy, there's this guy, there's this guy. So we made sure that everyone who's a fighter, we get them accommodation, proper accommodation, so that at least everyone can be back on the ground. So that even this management, when they misbehave, at least we have manpower to can attack them. So I think that is how we managed to come out victorious. I think it was just the matter of dedication and commitment, and also unity within our organization. We're very united, and we're clear with regard to what we wanted. And then we managed to at least get 8 seats. For the first time in history, we managed to get 8 seats, and then Smile was the face of the organization. He was loved by students because of also his commitment. He was always there on the ground assisting students, sometimes having sleepless nights, receiving calls. Someone will call you around 1 and say that I'm from Mpumalanga, I just arrived now, I don't have a place to sleep. You have to make means to get a person accommodation. So I think I can just say that is the journey which at least made us to be where we are today.
So now, as we speak, speaking here has become a compound name, and we never started hearing of it this year, but we started hearing of it last year. What is it that you can say about it? As to maybe did you sit down and plan to say, no, now that I want to go and become the president of the SRC of University of Venda, then I should have a name or a certain way to describe myself, or it just happened coincidentally?
No, I can say that it was never a planned thing. Something that was never planned. It's just that during Smile's campaign, when we were busy, I was the chairperson. When we were busy going around, I was the one introducing the president. So I then started saying, well, thank you very much. Speaking yes, Tshamano, the chairman of the student command in the branch. So that's how the name became popular, because each and every time when I address, I start by saying that speaking here is Comrade Tshamano. And then students, they fell in love with how maybe I speak or with how maybe I do my things, because it was different from many of the people. Then by the virtue of that, the students start to say, oh, this man is speaking here. They took small clips, they made them to trend, they went to TikTok, or they started to speak about speaking here. So it was never something which was planned. It just happened. Yeah.
So now it became popular, and like that you're moving. So now if you can check on campus now, the vibe is that one of the elections, and everyone is warming up to that day. I've been seeing posters of people campaigning also for substructures and things like that. This makes us understand that the elections are just around the corner. So I want to know as to what is it that you and the student command in particular are having in preparation for the elections.
No, thank you very much. I think we can't go into detail with regard to that, because if we do that, it's like disclosing our strategy to say how we're going to be doing our things. But I can just say that we're very ready. We're ready for the victory, because we understand that the organization which we are part of, it is tend to represent the poor majority of our students, and it has been there. It has been there for the students. Each and every challenge which they faced, we were there to assist them. So that's why that is one of the things which make us to be sure that indeed victory is setting, and they were going to register a decisive victory. So that is all which I can say for now, not disclosing maybe what I'm going to be doing, when and where. So I can just say that we are prepared and very ready. So now coming back to the question of speaking here, I can say that yes, it is true that we are contesting for presidency, but we believe that it's not about us. And then this view or this idea, it is not an idea of, or it's not a personal idea. It's students themselves who have been calling for my name to say, but also Tshamano, we know you've been there on the ground assisting us, you worked very well with President Smile. So now want to trust you with the position of the president. And by the virtue of that, we start to develop interest, we start to be ambitious. And now we become ambitious. That's why even when we make a call to say students who are going away to elect they come out in numbers. It's because of the love which they have. And that simply shows you that indeed this idea is the idea of the student themselves. So I think that is all which I can say with regard to the issue of the president. So it was not something which was planned. It was not planned. Students are the ones who have been calling for it, and then us were available for that position.
Yeah. So now, screening is around the corner. So I have to ask: are you qualifying? Because hey, we know these things of qualifying, progression rule, and things like that. I know someone. Hey, it was very bad. So I want to know: are you qualifying?
No, we can confidently confirm that we're qualifying. I think it's around 98%, if not 97%. Because remember, I said that I came in 2018. This year is 2022. So which means that I have 5 years in the university. I'm doing a 4 years degree. So which means that I only managed to fail once. So I failed last year. I failed the year of 2020.
Okay. Yeah.
I failed one module which prohibited me from progressing to the next level. That's why I'm not part of the SRC. It's because I failed to progress. But last year we were doing 3 modules, we passed all of them.
And you progressed.
So we progressed to the next level.
So now you can affirmatively say that you are qualifying.
Yeah, without any fear of contradiction, we are qualifying. We are qualifying.
That's better because these things of not qualifying, it's also a problem. After so much hard work, people get to be depressed and things like that. So now, President Smile, after being elected to be president, there's a lot of things that he did for the students of the University of Venda until he gave the baton to President Sibusiso Ndebele. Now, what is it that you're going to bring? Let's say the student command emerge victorious once more. What is it that you're going to be bringing to the table for the students of the University of Venda?
Now, responding to that question, it can take the entire night responding because of the challenges which we are facing in this university. But we'll try to be very short, like a miniskirt. We'll try maybe to at least shorten it. Now, I questioned this thing. There was a gala dinner there at the auditorium. I questioned that. Why is it that the university is giving us free condoms, but doesn't see it important to give at least female students sanitary towels?
Because that thing they don't choose it.
Exactly, because you don't choose to go to your periods. It's just a natural course. It happens. So now we're going to come up with an idea to say, instead of giving us condoms only, how about we also give these female students sanitary towels? We're also going to speak about the issue of food parcels to the students without bursaries. There are students who sometimes spend the entire night without food. We know that because they text us. You just can't disclose their names.
Exactly.
So we're going to make sure that when you take over, at least we get students must go and get their food parcels. Students must make sure they must be able to at least have a meal a day, so that at least they don't suffer under our leadership. Now, when we speak about these things, someone might be questioning to say, but also how are you going to achieve that? Because why are you going to get the man?
It
now,
must be feasible.
What you're saying is impossible. So now to respond to that question, I can say that we have a budget of the SRC which amounts to 12 million. If we were to check how that budget is being used, that budget is used for gigs. You do gigs. We don't have a problem with the gigs, so we're going to do them. It's a fact. That budget get to be misused by going to hotels to have meetings. So now we're going to come up with an idea to say, instead of going to hotels, how about maybe when we want to have a meeting, we go to Senate chamber and have that meeting. That 500,000 which was meant for hotels, we go and take it, we redirect it to sanitary towels. That's how simple the approach is going to be. The same thing with this business people here in campus. Your cafeteria, your fish and chips. If you go to them and ask, how are you giving back to the community of Univen? They're not assisting with anything. They're just taking from us. So we're going to approach them to say, how about maybe you also give something to our students, because you don't have a business without the students. So the money which you're getting, at least give us 2% of your money. We buy sanitary towels for our students, we buy food parcels. We're also going to go to all service providers. Anyone who's going to get a tent of the SRC, out of the money which is going to get, at least give us 5%. We go and buy those things to our students. So that is the idea which we are bringing, which we believe that is simple. And also, if maybe the budget is still not permitting, there are students who are studying off campus residencies. So we're going to approach the landlords to say, you have a female student, yes, paying you 3,000 from NSFAS man. How about out of this 3,000, you take 15 rand of each and every female student, you buy them sanitary towels. I think that is simple. There's no way that they can refuse that. because they were just asking. As parents, they understand these things. They know the struggle. So that's the approach which we're going to use. So moving forward now, we are still going to, you see these gigs we have here at Univen. We're going to make sure that there must not be any gig without at least 5 artists of Univen.
Exactly.
Because it's a Univen gig, it must benefit Univen community.
Exactly.
So also those ones who are having small businesses, they must be the ones selling everything. If you sell fish and chips, it must be students only. There must not be anyone just coming from outside to sell these things to the students. Whereas we have students who are in business in campus.
Exactly.
They must be the ones to go and selling those particular gigs. So now also we are going to speak about the issue of practical allowances. We have issue here at Univen. I'm doing social work, I'm doing final year. I received my stipend of 12,000 for 4 months. But there's a student under school of under faculty of education. The person is doing practicals for 4 months as me, but they don't receive any cent. So now the question would be, what is the difference between this one and this one? There's no difference, because remember, when you go and do your practicals, you need money for transport, you need money for food, you need money for formal clothes. So we're going to say that the university must make sure that at least they give stipends to each and every student doing practicals, field practicals, so that at least they can be able to go and have such money which will be able to assist them. So now with ideas, we have many ideas which are going to assist our students. We have an issue of academic record. Students still buy academic record even today. How do you go and buy your own results? Because I'm the one who wrote. I must then be able to access them anytime I want to access them. So we're going to at least champion to show that we have free academic record to each and every student. Particularly those who are funded by NSFAS, because being funded by NSFAS, it simply means that I don't have to pay any cents with regard to my academics. NSFAS is my father, will be the one paying everything.
He's the one who provides everything.
Exactly.
So I hear you, especially when it comes to that one of sanitary towels. It's very, very important, because you can't abstain. You can only abstain from sex. Some of us are very much abstaining. So that one, you there's nothing you can do about it. It's a natural cause, like you have mentioned. So I think that one is a very good cause, and also that one of local artists, Univen-based artists and business or entrepreneurs. It's very nice, because also as Univen podcast, that is what we are advocating for.
Univen podcast. Authenticity at your fingertips.